Hello. We wanted to draw words today, and I thought maybe I first start with an example word in order to explain how to draw letters. And that is, everybody can write, but if you use it for illustrations, then it should be legible, maybe more legible than it is when you just write. That means you have to slow down and use, for starters, a line to write on. And maybe use 2 lines even. So the word I'm going to write is example. So this is an E, that's a capital letter. Now I make another line and another line here. Because we have the capital letter height, and then we have this lowercase letter height. Then we have an A, and I draw the A like that because I found out that if I draw it like I usually do, that is like this, that's not as legible because it looks like an O or something. So I just got the habit to, when I draw words, then I do it like this here. Then an M, example. And this is not super exact and precise, but more than if I would just write it normally. But I have trained to do it like this also faster. The difference between this and my normal handwriting is that there's more space between the words, and I take care to put space into the letters. Let me try to write as I usually write. This is, oops. This is how I write, more or less. Oh, I can't anymore. And here is more space, and there's the height of these lowercase letters is even, and the uppercase height letters are not very high. So there's more space in the lowercase letters than in my normal handwriting. So, and if I do that without lines, it would look like this. Because I don't make lines very often. Sometimes I do. Then you can, if you have enough space enough air between the letters, then you can do stuff like make some of them bolder. Like for example, if you make the vertical lines bold, you get a kind of what is it called? Old-fashioned look to it, a calligraphic look. And if you even make serifs here, these small lines, then it looks like an old-fashioned typeface. But you don't have to do it. It's a different typeface than this. Another word, another variant, is to make the whole thing bold. You can of course also use thick thicker lines, but now I do it like this. A thick brush pen. So I just double the lines and make the whole thing thicker. And then I take care to do the, to make it more or less, it's not very precise. I'm a very sketchy illustrator. Not very patient. And here the descendant is too long, so I just do it like this here. But of course, it's easier if you use a thicker marker. Another possibility is if you use pencil to start with. Then you can do an outline. Like this. You can also, and the tab, it's not really horizontal. You can put a little shadow here for an extra effect. And put the shadow only on one side and on the bottom end. Like here and here. On the right side and on the bottom. And you can do it much nicer than I do it here. Another possibility is to use only capital letters. Which makes it easier to, not to read, but it looks more orderly than this. It's easier to make it orderly, but it's very static. And it's not as easily readable in this mixed case, it's called mixed case, mixed letters mode to write. And you shouldn't use only capital letters for longer texts, only for words. And it wouldn't be a good way of writing for some things like playful or bright. Then you want something more expressive. Another possibility, and then of course you can use all these variants also here. You can do italics, that is if the whole thing is inclined. You can write it. Which is not very easy to read. You can also make a line and write it on here. You can do it like this. Oh, there are many possibilities. Yeah, now you have some possibilities here to write your words.